teaser this morning.
Yeah, and the Q&A had a lot of good stuff in it as well. So I think we have enough.
Yeah, the Q&A gave us a lot to chew on. And yeah, I think now is the right time to make this video before we get too swayed by teasers. Like our predictions are still very much predictions.
So as you'd expect, discussion videos, this could either be short-ish or long-ish. So we'll see what happens.
I envision it's going to be on the longer side
Yeah.
because there is a fair bit to talk about.
There'll be a lot. I think the two most talked about, we're going to be talking a lot about the mall and a lot about the endings, most likely. That'll probably take up most of the video.
Yeah, because
But
we
yeah,
don't
I'm
know enough.
excited. And at the
So
end,
this
I've
should be pretty
also got
cool.
some questions for you, Ryan. I'm just going to ask some questions about Chapter 5.
Sweet, yeah,
Because
down man.
you're the coder. You're the secret coder, so you know what's happening in the chapter.
I do, yes. I know everything.
Yes, he knows that Vince is the final boss. I shouldn't have revealed that here, but yeah,
It was hinted on every single Q&A live stream. People just didn't pick up on it.
exactly. All right, so Ragai, how about we start? And since you're my guest, you will be going first on your theories. Level 9, just base out whatever you can think of. What do you think level 9 is going to be like?
All right, so level 9, we already know it's gonna probably start in like that parking garage that was teased forever ago at this point.
Oh yeah.
And Zone 1 is gonna, be like a very standard like American mall. I think Vince even said that's where your inspiration, with like the whole Christmas theme and the
That's true. He
holiday.
did say it's just a typical American mall, I'm pretty sure, in an old Q&A.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just a standard mall. I'm honestly, aside from like escalators for like a natural hazard, I have no idea what traps in this level are gonna be.
Hmm.
Maybe tripwires would be cool, maybe because it's like a mall with like security on it. I'm not
I'll just
sure.
say this right now. Going off of chapter 4, I wouldn't expect much in terms of traps for the mall.
That's probably fair. The mannequins are definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, yeah.
I envision they're going to be either close or they're going to match max speed boost.
They're faster that according to Vince, they're faster than the chapter 4 enemy, so that confirms they're faster than the Reaper Nurse, which is currently the fastest enemy, I believe.
Yeah, I
So,
think
yeah.
I'm not sure if Lucky's speed boost is faster. Lucky on his own definitely is.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
entirely sure, yeah.
yeah, but mannequins are going to be very fast. Vince said that they move around in a weird way, and with all the imagery and just like teases we've gotten recently about like puppets, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them are like on strings attached to the ceiling and they like slide around.
That is what I'm going with. That's my main theory, which I've told Ryguy before. My main
Yeah,
theory for level 9 is puppets, but the puppets also have a metaphorical meaning. Like, for example, consumers are being controlled. It's the classic trend that it's like, like fashion is what makes you. It's like fashion and what you own is who you are, but not who you actually are yourself. So you're being
yeah,
controlled by retail and consumerism, capitalism mainly, which I think capitalism is going to be a big part of the
yeah.
metaphorical meaning behind level 9 and consumerism basically.
Definitely, because marketing can always be very controlling, get you to think exactly what you want and all that, and that tying in
Exactly.
with that tying in with the puppet theme is actually really clever, in my opinion. I like that.
Exactly.
Um, Another older idea I had, this was before all the puppet stuff, was when Vince hinted at like the mannequins like move weirdly. Is I had the idea that they can like launch parts of their body or something, but I'm not sure if that
If
was
they're
gonna be
puppets,
feasible.
it's possible. I mean, we know that their limbs are their weapons. I think Vince has basically said, yeah, they have sharp limbs, so I think that's pretty obvious.
I
That
still really like that the mannequins have like all of their limbs, including their head, can stab you. Like they have five like knives essentially, which is really
And I remember a while back, somebody made a fan-made mannequin jump scare where the mannequin actually takes his head off and stabs you with it like a knife, which I thought
oh
was quite
yeah,
clever.
I think that was Motia
Was that
or
Motia? It
Motia,
was
I
Motia, I
think.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And then there was
Oh
Thingy-Majig as well, who made it that they literally just slice you up as well with their limbs.
yeah, yeah. Okay, moving on with the mall though, I'm pretty sure that well, after yesterday's Q&A, we have a bit more to work on with the puppet master that was teased recently.
I think
Which,
we know he's actually the main enemy of the level, so he's the mama bear of them all, which probably means he
yeah,
is the boss fight.
I don't think we'll see him in like Zone 1. We might get a hint of him, but he'll probably like introduce himself and like fully be a threat in like Zone 2 on with like
Which
Lost and Found.
which is actually what I wanted your theories on. We know he's going to be voice acted. Do you think he's going to be kind of like a mama bear where he act, well, or an Agatha where he kind of acts sort of friendly at the beginning, or do you think he's just going to be straight like you're dead? Like, what do you think he's going to be like?
I do not think he's gonna like. I think the phrase is like pull it like a false red carpet. He's not gonna be like friendly to you at all. He might not be like he's gonna kill you, but he's definitely gonna see you as a threat and want to like get rid of you as quickly as possible.
So do you think he will introduce himself, but not in a friendly-ish way like Agatha?
Yeah, he'll actually. I think every monster's introduced themselves in a friendly way. I could imagine this being the first monster that doesn't do that.
Hmm.
Like kind of like talks down to you. Um, yeah, I just don't because like he doesn't look friendly, so I doubt he'd like all the monsters to a degree can like Agatha's a child that's kind of friendly. The Reaper nurses don't look scary on first
They're
appearance,
they're
and
pretty friendly at the beginning.
yeah, and even like the Joy gang, like they're off-putting, but they're mascots. They're meant to be friendly. So this is the first enemy that doesn't like this looks like an actual enemy, I guess. They look scary. They don't look like they try to deceive you with being kind.
And an interesting thought I had is the puppet master himself. Do you think he's actually normal sized, or do you think he's giant?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure to be honest. I could really see it going either way.
Because
Although
if
if
he's
he,
giant, I could see him like having hands up, like at the top, controlling mannequins. But if he's small, maybe he's magical. He has magical powers that like he can use his body to control the mannequins like puppets.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like whenever I picture just him moving, I imagine he like floats like with magic and all that.
That'd be
Yeah.
interesting. I imagine something like if anyone here's played VHS, the Doll Master. He controls the
Mm.
puppets with magic. He controls them with his own arms, like telekinetically, basically.
Yeah, that's what I could imagine going.
Very
Um,
interesting. I'm super excited for level 9. I love the theme behind it.
yeah, level not like I'll be honest, like before chapter 4 came out and like we knew nothing on the mall, I wasn't that interested in it. It seemed like another level, but with all the stuff, I've been on board with almost everything they've shown for the mall.
Of course,
It,
I was always incredibly hyped up for Mascot Mayhem, but I'll be very honest. I think I'm actually more hyped for the mall than I ever was for Mascot Mayhem.
oh wow, really?
Yeah, I think the mall's got me more engaged than Mascot Mayhem.
It's definitely the most interesting level to talk about with chapter 5 because the rest we just don't know anything about. Um, I believe Vince also said at one point that he really wanted to make this level scary.
He said
You
it
want?
was actually in the Ertz video. He did a video with Ertz, the YouTuber who kind of just like goes out of bounds in games. They did like a collab vid, and Vince did say that he wanted to go back to horror in Chapter 5 because he's basically confirmed Chapter 4 isn't really scary. It was meant to appeal to a wide audience
Yeah,
because of the
and
teen rating.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, chapter 4 isn't really that scary, which I
It's
know
not.
some people have issues with, but I actually didn't really mind it that much.
Mama Bear's level's kind of creepy. Torment Therapy is scary for the imagery and the symbolism. And
Yeah,
Mascot Mayhem is not really scary, I'll be honest.
Angry's mechanic is scary, but the actual level itself.
Nah. They're supposed to be the goofy, cartoony enemies.
Yeah, which is I know this is sort of getting off topic, but Zone 3 could have been scary.
Oh, yeah. Zone
But
3,
yeah,
but we have to stay on track, Ragai. This is
indeed,
mannequinism.
we have to shift back to consumerism and capitalism.
But what about
Um,
your thoughts on the theme? Every level has a metaphorical meaning behind it, whether it's correlated to Doug's life, Bierce's life, or just like an ideology of everyday life, like an idea that we as a community have adapted over time, even though it may
yeah,
not be completely accurate.
Um, as far as I can tell, there has not been a level that's really delved into the fact that Doug was like a lawyer. You know how like
Mm.
he tries to like control stuff, sort of. And I think this level might tie into that, kind of like so like twisted forms of control. I'm not even really sure what the level is going to represent yet. When I first saw the mannequins, I thought it was going to be, like representing the women that Doug abused because
That was a very popular theory, yeah.
yeah, because like the mannequin that we saw in the end of chapter 4 had female anatomy.
And I actually originally
Um,
had another theory, which I'll have to be a bit careful of how I word it, but it actually, Vince is a huge Silent Hill advocate.
yes.
And we know that Doug he's abused women, but he's probably also done some other stuff with women, possibly.
Oh, that's oh dear. Yeah.
And I don't think you've seen Silent Hill 2, but there's a mannequin enemy in Silent Hill 2 that Pyramid Head kinda. There's a scene where one of the Pyramid Heads kinda, does a mannequin.
What?
It's like. It's very hard to explain, but basically, what I was thinking is the mannequins are very Silent Hill. They scream
Yeah.
Silent Hill. So I
I'm pretty sure
thought
even YouTubers said
So I
that.
originally thought the mannequins represented the women that Doug, actually went and fully assaulted, basically.
Yeah.
Which is a dark theme, but this game has went dark. This game can go darker.
The only issue I have with that whole thing is that I'm pretty sure Torment Therapy was actually kind of meant to tie into that
I
already.
think it
Just like,
was, yeah.
so I'm not it'd be kind of weird. It'd be like a derivative for it to go into the same theme. It could,
Even
but
if
I think
that's
it'll
what
take
it
on.
symbolized, I think Vince would never full out say it because at the end of the day, it is a teen rating. Vince wants to appeal to audiences, so I get that.
Yeah,
But Vince has shown us that he's not scared to go very dark with the story of Dark Deception.
definitely. Yeah, I don't think we'll get anything more explicit outside of like that note in Crazy Carnival.
But yeah,
Like,
Whew.
we obviously won't see anything, but
But that was just my fear for a while because the mannequins clearly have a Silent Hill inspiration, and they kind of tied together. I was like, why not? It might possibly, but now I think it definitely is control. As you said, it might be
yes.
Doug controlling his clients. Doug probably was a corrupt lawyer,
Oh
and
yeah, definitely.
he probably controlled his clients to do as he said. He's saying, "Look, listen. If they ask you this, you say no. This never happened. This never will happen." Like he controlled his clients, maybe even like threatened to blackmail his clients if they didn't do as he said. Like we have no idea what Vince did in his job.
That'd be a very interesting angle for it to take, and I kind of hope it does go into that because, yeah, as far as I remember, at least, no level has kind of like dived into the fact that that was Doug's profession and it was such a
Yeah.
large part of his life.
I
From what
think
I
the
understand.
closest we've gotten to Doug's profession is Stranger Sewers, I believe, with the rotten souls of liars, and
Oh yeah.
also the note. I believe there's a newspaper in Stranger Sewers that talked about Doug handing himself in to the police. I believe.
I think that was Crazy Carnival, but yeah,
Oh, was that crazy? Oh yeah, that's right. It was the doctor's note for I believe it was Tammy, right? Tammy's
yeah,
doctor's note.
that's in sewers, and the turning himself in is in the funhouse.
Because I'm pretty sure it literally says that he sexually assaulted people, didn't he? In Crazy Carnival.
I think it said there were allegations. I don't know if it outright said that he did.
Oh well, that
But
might be something Chapter 5 delves into then.
let me see if I can find the note real quick. Hang on. Because yeah, that'd be very interesting to see. I mean, he probably. I hate to say it, but Doug probably did.
Oh
His
yeah.
allegations are probably accurate. I mean, um,
But while you look for that, let's obviously keep things going because we don't want people to sit here for hours. So
obviously, yeah,
we'll still keep
and
things going, obviously. But yeah, that's great. So final part about the mall, because I do want to move on to other stuff, and again, I don't want this being way too long. As much as I'd love to, obviously, I could talk to you all day, dude. You're that awesome. But
yeah,
like,
no,
obviously,
you're the cool one here.
let's keep it going. So, final part about the mall I wanted to talk about. Just the look of the mall, the gameplay, the zones. What do you think the mall's going to be like?
It's gonna be very chaotic. I imagine we're gonna hear the chase themes a lot. So it's
Mm.
gonna be very because like when a mannequin. Vince even said that like they're kind of like a hive mind, right?
Yep, they're a hive mind.
So I imagine it'll be a little similar to clowns, where when one sees you, they might not all chase after you, but some others might at least try to. They might like go when a mannequin. Vince even said that like they're kind of like a hive mind, right?
Yep, they're a
So
hive mind.
I imagine it'll be a little similar to clowns, where when one sees you, they might not all chase after you, but some others might at least try to. They might like go where you are, sort of.
Or they might be alerted. Stay on alert.
Yeah, like they wouldn't like chase to that location, but like they would like be like, oh, maybe he's over there or something.
And
But
final question I wanted to ask you. Oh, are you done with your point yet?
there's just a bit more one.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. But yeah, they're gonna be ridiculously fast. The mall, I will be very surprised if it's not multi-layered.
Oh no,
I
it
think
has
it's
9 floors, I believe, right?
yeah. Jesus Christ, yeah, there are 9 floors. One of those floors is definitely like the ring altar. One's probably like a boss floor, but the rest are definitely like zones that you could traverse.
And actually, I just
Um,
thought, what if the top floor is probably the roof, and that's where the puppet master is? Because if you think about it, if the mannequins are being controlled like puppets, the strings in the master, wouldn't they control them from the top,
that'd be very cool, actually. Yeah, the roof. That'd be very
or
interesting.
just the top floor in general? Like that's where the puppet master is.
This isn't really to gameplay, but I feel it would just be such a like nice touch if it was snowing outside. So like when you get to the roof, it's like snowing.
Now we know there's a Christmas theme. We know that
Yeah,
Christmas is a theme because literally the first track is called it's called Carol the Bells, right?
yeah,
Because that's a Christmas song.
it is.
And
Yes.
and even if you listen to it, you can hear the Christmas theme in it, which is funny as well.
Yeah, but it does seem like that theme is kind of like as the level goes on, it does it goes from the Christmas theme to more of like the control stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Silent Shopper sounds like Zone 1 to me, and Look But Don't Touch, probably Zone 1 as well. We know
Hmm.
Zone 2 is Lost and Found,
Yes.
and I would guess that Mortal Puppets could be Zone 2's chase theme.
Do you think those themes are going to be shared in Zone 3, or do you think Zone 3
I
is going to be
think
something
Zone
different?
3. I think Zone 3, one of them might be different, but one of them will be the same.
Oh, like Torment. Okay,
Maybe.
gotcha.
Maybe.
Do you have any ideas for like names on the mannequins, or do you think we're just going to stick with? Like, do you think the white ones and the red ones are
Well,
going
the
to be like
official
canon names?
name for the red ones are the red ones. That's their official name. So I think the white
Gotcha.
ones are just the white ones. But I
Yeah,
think we have more mannequins, I'm pretty sure. There's still more to come.
yeah, I'm not entirely sold on the red one's name. It sounds cool. It's just
There could be
sounds a
something
little.
else, yeah.
There probably will be. Yeah. Do you think the red ones are the frenzy forms? Because I've seen a lot of people say that.
I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it's not out of the question that Vince showed us the frenzy early. Like, keep in mind, we saw the. I think the first time we properly saw the Joy Joy gang teased for Chapter 4, it was in their frenzy form. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Hmm.
So it wouldn't be entirely out of the question, but also keep in mind we have two different mannequins. We have female mannequins and male mannequins. So
That's
we
true.
also have
Yes.
to take into account that, and they're different. We know that they have different abilities.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
But yeah,
Uh,
and last bit, which I was trying to think, because also we'll have to wrap up them all. That's nearly 20 minutes.
oh dear.
But yeah, obviously, it makes sense though. The mall's what we've got. That's what we've got on right now. But we do have to get into the real discussion theory, DD theory phase.
Yeah, that's only like a fourth of the chapter we just discussed.
Final question for you about the mall. What mannequin AI ability are you sorted on? Do you think it's personal space? Do you think it's lights on, lights off? Or do you think they just roam around and then they run after you when they see you? Or
Um,
other.
I think it might be a mix. I like the idea of it'd be interesting if if they are on strings, they're kind of like close to the ceiling and just like searching around there, like
And they drop down
and
on you.
yeah, they drop down when they see you. I think that would be interesting.
I mean, someone asked before if mannequins can crawl, and Vin said you'll see, but I think the mannequins might actually crawl.
I think they
Right.
might crawl like if they want to like traverse floors faster.
Oh yeah, or they just get lifted up with strings. If they have strings, they just get
Oh,
lifted
true.
up onto the next floor.
that would be much easier. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that'll do us for anything else you want to add to level 9.
I just had and this was a while ago. I just want to throw this in here. I had an idea for the boss name, and I'm
Oh
not sure if
yeah.
this still works. But I might be able to fuse into the Puppet Master. Maybe the Puppet Master creates or uses himself with like a bunch of mannequins because I really like the name Mulgamation, out of like amalgamation, but like mul.
Oh, amalgamation. Interesting.
It's just an idea I had a while ago.
Yeah, we know he's not actually called the Puppet Master. He is a Puppet Master, but that's not his name.
Yeah. Do you think we'll learn his name before the chapter comes out?
Yes, it looks like Vince said we're gonna see his full body and his voice, and we'll probably. I mean, Vince said he would never give us the matron voice reveal before the chapter, but we did eventually get it. So
That's true.
and Vince did say he is gonna show us more of him before the chapter. I think we're gonna see his full body at some point, and probably a voice reveal because let's be honest, we need to get some voice reveals for chapter 5.
Yeah, definitely. Because from what I understand, the main enemies this time around probably won't talk as much.
Yeah, I think it's going to be mainly the bosses actually that are voice acted for this chapter.
Most likely, yeah.
The mannequins, although we can still get voice reveals for the mannequins,